And we are back to What Did AI Say at VickyL-4AI on YouTube. Thank you so very much for coming back to the podcast. Gratitude is always the attitude. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's question. This is episode number 79. And today's question, we're going to start with Chatgpt's answer. The question is, who is Baal and what does this deity represent? It's a good one. Baal or Baal is a very old title and deity from the ancient Near East, especially the Canaanite and Phoenician religions, roughly modern Israel and Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, parts of Jordan. The name itself literally means Lord, Master, or Owner. So originally, Baal was not just one single god. It was a title used for several local storm and fertility gods, though the most famous version is Baal Hadad. The historical Baal, ancient religion. In ancient Canaanite mythology, Baal Hadad was god of storms, rain, thunder and lightning, fertility of the land, agriculture and crops, kinship and power. In a farming society, rain equals survival. So Baal was extremely important because he controlled the weather and therefore food and life. People prayed to Baal for rain during drought, for good harvest, for protection from famine. He was often depicted holding a lightning bolt, a club or spear, standing on mountains or clouds. Baal in Canaanite mythology, the main myth about Baal is his battle against chaos and death, or chaos and death. Key story. Baal fights Yam, god of the sea, who is also chaos. Wins, become king of the gods. Later he battles Mot, god of death and drought. When Baal dies, drought happens. When Baal returns, rains come and the land becomes fertile again. This myth symbolized the seasonal cycle. Dry season equals Baal dead. Rainy season equals Baal returns. So Baal represents the cycle of life, death, and renewal. So Baal represents the cycle of life, death, and renewal. Baal in the Bible. Most modern people know the name Baal because of the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament. The Israelites were commanded to worship Yahweh only, but neighboring peoples worship Baal because of this. In the Bible, Baal becomes portrayed as a false god, a symbol of idolatry, a rival to Yahweh. Famous story. Prophet Elijah versus the prophets of Baal, 1 Kings 18. Elijah challenges them to call down fire from heaven. Baal doesn't answer, Yahweh does. Baal worship is condemned. So in the biblical tradition, Baal shifts from ancient storm god, symbol of religious opposition and apostasy, later demonization, centuries later in Jewish and Christian demonology. Baal transformed into a demon called Baal, often used as a prince of hell in medieval grimoires. This is a common historical pattern when religions replace older religions. Old gods often become labeled as demons. Let's repeat that because I don't think people recognize that enough. Let me just repeat the whole part of it. Okay. Later demonization. Centuries later in Jewish and Christian demonology, Baal, transformed into a demon called Baal, often listed as a prince of hell in medieval grimoires. This is a common historical pattern. A common historical pattern when religions replace other older religions, old gods often become labeled as demons. Examples: Greek gods, demons in Christian texts; Norse gods, pagan demons in medieval writings. So Baal's demonic image is much later reinterpretation, not his original role. What Baal represents symbolically. Across history, Baal has represented in ancient religion rain and storms, fertility and agriculture, seasonal cycles, kingship and power, life versus drought versus death. In the Bible, he's represented idolatry, foreign worship, religious conflict. In later demonology, a demonized former god. And in simple terms, Baal began as a powerful storm and fertility god, crucial to ancient farmers. Over time, he became a religious rival in the Bible. Later still, a demon in medieval mythology. Okay, Chatgpt says if you want, it can explain how Baal connects to other ancient gods like Zeus, Thor, and Teshub. They're surprisingly similar. Okay, that was good. And ChatGPT really hit on some key points that we do need to recognize, especially when it comes to newer religions replacing older religions. The playbook is to make their gods evil. That has always been how it goes. So, I mean, if we knew our history, we would know that. But I'm glad that ChatGPT did touch on that, because that was definitely something that needed to be conveyed. Okay, let's go ahead and see what Deepseek's answer was. And just in case you forgot the question, let me repeat it. Who is Baal and what does this deity represent? Of course, Baal, also spelled Baal, is one of the most fascinating and complex figures from the ancient world. His identity can be understood on two levels. First, as a title meaning Lord, and second, as the name of a specific powerful god worshipped across the ancient Near East. Here is a breakdown of who Baal is and what he represents. Baal as a title, Lord or Master. Before it was a name, Baal was a title. In the ancient Semitic languages of the Levant, the word Baal simply meant owner, lord, or master. It could be used for a human husband, a landowner, or any deity who was considered the lord of a specific place. Over time, however, it became most closely associated with a specific god, the storm and fertility god Hadad. The god Baal, lord of storms and fertility. The primary figure known as Baal was the Canaanite god of rain, thunder, and agricultural abundance. Core domains. As a storm god, Baal was believed to control the rains and dew essential for crops in the arid Levant. His presence meant life and fertility for the land, animals, and people. His most famous epithet, Rider of the Clouds, vividly captures his power over the sky. Symbols and depictions. He was often depicted as a powerful warrior wielding a lightning bolt in one hand and a club or mace in the other. Another key symbol was the bull, which represented his immense strength and fertility. The epic stories, the Baal cycle. Our deepest understanding of Baal comes from ancient clay tablets discovered at Ugarit in modern-day Syria. These texts, known as the Baal cycle, tell dramatic stories of his battles and his rise to power. Defeating Yam, the sea, Baal first battles Yam, the god of the sea and chaos. With the help of magical weapons, he defeats Yam, establishing order and claiming kingship among the gods. Confronting Mot, death. His most significant struggle was with Mot, the god of death. After being killed by Mot, Baal descends to the underworld. His death causes the earth to become barren. His sister and consort Anat avenges him by defeating Mot, allowing Baal to return to life. This cycle of death and return was seen as a mythological explanation for the dry summer and the life-giving autumn rains. Victory and palace. After his return, Baal secures permission from El, the head of the pantheon, to have a magnificent palace built for him on Mount Saphon, symbolizing his established kingship. Historical and biblical significance. The worship of Baal was widespread, spreading from Ugarit throughout Canaan into Egypt and across the Mediterranean with Phoenician traders. In the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, Baal is presented as the primary rival deity to Yahweh, the God of Israel. The Bible recounts numerous instances of Israelites being drawn into Baal worship, a practice vehemently condemned by prophets like Elijah. The most famous confrontation is on Mount Carmel, where Elijah challenges and defeats 450 prophets of Baal to prove the power of the true God. This opposition was so strong that the name Baal eventually became synonymous with idolatry and false gods. Interestingly, early in Israel's history, the term Baal as Lord was sometimes used as an epithet for Yahweh, but this practice was later abandoned due to its strong association with the Canaanite god. Later traditions. In later Jewish and Christian demonology, the worship of Baal was often linked to demonic figures such as Beelzebub, a name derived from a Philistine form of Baal, meaning Lord of the Flies. Okay, Deepseek's quick summary here. I hope this gives you a clear and comprehensive picture of who Baal was. Is there a particular aspect of this mythology or history that you would like to explore further? Okay, that was interesting as well. Both Chatgpt and Deepseek seem to be on the same page with who exactly this deity was when he first came onto the scene and who he ended up being once the worship of him was replaced by the worship of Yahweh in Jewish and Christian belief systems. So, like anything else, religion is it's a cycle, and I mean, I just hate for people to allow it to be so divisive among us, because I believe all religions come from one place, just like all people come from one place. And then we diversify and move on and out and over and up, and we adapt to our locations. Religion is the same way. Anytime that there was a separation from the church or what have you, there was a new translation of the Bible written for that particular style of faith. And that's how it goes, and it still happens today. You have many different versions depending on what denomination of Christianity you believe. With that being said, I believe that you should have the freedom to worship whomever you want to worship, as long as you don't cause harm or jeopardize the safety of others around you. Do I think that we should be where we're at, where we allow different belief systems to separate us and get us off track from, the blessings that we need to appreciate and the battles that we need to fight together? Absolutely not. We really have to evolve from that. Okay. That was pretty good, and I'm glad that we hit that topic, because that was very interesting, especially since we're hearing about this particular deity in the news due to supposedly Netanyahu and Israel wanting to go to war with Iran because they destroyed a statue of this particular deity. I mean, we all know that's bull malarkey, but now at least we know what the deity initially began as and what it transformed into once religions and beliefs changed. So let's go ahead and move on to our positive saying for this episode. Again, this is episode number 79. And you know what? I feel so bad because I was watching something and a coach made this statement and I loved it, but I did not get the name of the coach. So I feel awful. This was a football coach out of Colorado, out of the Colorado college team. Okay, so forgive me. I do not know the name of the coach, but I love what he said. So I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. Here we go. When you do things right, you survive. When you do things right now, you thrive. When you do things right now with the intent and purpose, you become great. I love that. Let me repeat it. When you do things right, you survive. When you do things right now, you thrive. When you do things right now with intent and purpose, you become great. I love that. So basically, we need to do things right now with intent and purpose. Okay, that's all I have for this episode. Thank you so very much for giving me about 18 minutes of your time. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. We the people have the power. Peace.